Question 14 says, in the figure, all measurements are in centimeters. Calculate the values of x, y, and z, and give your answers correct to 1 decimal place. So the first thing you want to do is look at this figure here and figure out what the similar triangles are within the figure. So we can see that we have a set of parallel lines here, and there's a shared point here, U, between these two triangles. So that means that this triangle here and this smaller triangle here must be similar. And we can write out what those two triangles are. So we're saying that triangle UST is similar to triangle, now we want to be careful about how we write this so it's in the correct order. The vertex U is of course going to match up, it's just going to be the same. S, the vertex S and R are on the same line, and so they're going to match up. So we get URQ as the name of the second triangle. And so we have another set of similar triangles here. Because these two lines are parallel, we can say that this large triangle here is similar to this smaller triangle here. So the way we write that is, I'm going to label the big one first. So I'm going to say triangle PQR is similar to triangle P again. I'm going to just go in the same order, so PST in this case, because we know that these sides match up for these two triangles. So of course we can, it's possible to write these statements in different order, but in each case the vertices should match up between the two triangles, and that shouldn't change no matter which order you write it in. So now we have our statements for which triangles are similar, and we can use that to write the ratios of the sides that match up, and that'll help us figure out the sides x, y, and z that we don't know. So to start out with, I'm going to try to find side y. And so first I want to come up with a ratio of sides that we know. And so I'm going to say we know that this side here of the small triangle corresponds to this side of the big triangle. So that's UT and UQ. And you're going to match this up with US of the small triangle. And we know that that should correspond to UR here of the big triangle. So these sides will are related by the same ratio. And so now we can plug in what we know about these sides. We know that UT is 1.5 and UQ is 2.5. US is 1.6 and UR is Y, and that's what we're trying to find. So now we can solve for Y. I'm going to do that by just cross multiplying here. So 1.5 times Y is 1.5Y. 2.5 times 1.6 is 4. Now I'm going to divide by 1.5 on both sides, and I get Y is equal to, if you plug this into your calculator, it ends up being 2.6 repeating. But the question asks us to give our answers correct to 1 decimal place. So we're going to say that Y is equal to 2.7 centimeters when we round. All right, let's find X now. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm actually going to use the same ratio as before. So I'm going to use UT over UQ. And again, we want the smaller the side of the smaller triangle on top, so that's going to be ST, and the corresponding side of the larger triangle is RQ. Okay, so we know again UT is 1.5, UQ is 2.5, ST is 3, and RQ is X, which is what we're trying to find. So again, cross multiplying, 1.5 times X is 1.5X. 2.5 times 3 is 7.5. Dividing by 1.5 on both sides, you get X is equal to 7.5 divided by 1.5 is 5. And so adding the units and giving it correct to one decimal place, that's 5.0 centimeters. All right, so now we just need to find Z, and in this case we're going to use our other set of similar triangles, and what we want to do in this case is write a ratio of this side to this side, because we actually don't know the lengths of this side of the triangle, so we can't use that. So I'm going to put the larger side on top, so that's QR. Corresponding side of the smaller triangle is ST, and that is equal to the big side of this triangle, which is PR, over the corresponding side of the smaller triangle, which is PT. Okay, we know QR, we found that already. It's X, which is 5. So we'd say put a 5 on the top there, and ST we know is 3. PR in this case is going to be 3 plus Z, because it's this whole side here. So we have 3 plus Z on the top, and PT, this side here, is just 3. So in this case, we're dividing both sides of our equation by 3, so that just cancels out, and we're left with what's on top, which is 5 equals 3 plus Z. So now we can just subtract 3 on both sides, and we get 2 is equal to Z. And again, putting units on there and going correct to one decimal place, that Z is equal to 2.0 centimeters. So I believe that the answer key for this question says that side Z is 1.9 centimeters, but I believe that 2.0 is actually the correct answer for side Z. So these are the answers for sides X, Y, and Z in question 14.